Hello everyone, it is Tanisha Johnson, owner of Johnson's Innovative Services, the home of resume design where we keep you confident and competitive in this demanding job market. We've been in business since 2015 providing resume cover letter design, and we also offer career preparation services here at JIS. So that includes mock interview sessions, career coaching, and we also have LinkedIn profile design and training. So we also teach you how to maximize your online presence. JIS currently holds a 97% success rate in helping our career seekers obtain interview requests. Now, we've just started our YouTube channel, but you can also find us at our official website at www.j.innovativeservices.com. You'll also find us on Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, as well as Thumbtack. So I'm very excited about expanding our platform to YouTube, where we're going to post free valuable content for you. If you love JIS and want to show your support, please make sure that you like and subscribe to our channel. Make sure that you also reshare our video as well to your friends and family or to your groups that you are in, so that way it can bless them as well. Now, JIS sat down with multiple hiring managers, and the reason why we created this video is because we wanted to help individuals out before your interview process, what to expect. Now, we offer mock interview sessions, but we're actually going to give you this free, valuable information. So we spoke with hiring managers, and they advised us on the top reasons of why they will not select a candidate for the position. So what we did was narrowed it down into our top 10. We've broken down the top 10 reasons. So we're going to post half today, September 8th, and then on September 13th, we're going to post the part 2 of the video. So that way you guys will have the tools that you need in order to be successful on your pre and post interview. So let's get started. Now, the first reason for not being selected for the position is poor hygiene. Poor hygiene is one of the top reasons why qualified candidates are not selected for the position. Having poor hygiene will always negatively affect your chances of being selected. Now, I'm going to provide some general tips and recommendations, but if you need more in-depth information, please reach out to us here at Johnson's Innovative Services, and you can hire us for the mock interview session. We'll be more than happy to work with you. Now, getting back to the recommendations, you want to make sure that you bathe properly. That's very important. Maintain great oral care. So that means brush your teeth, flossing, taking those preventative measures. You also want to make sure that your clothes are fresh and clean, so they have been washed and they're free of odor. Another thing is that you want to make sure that your skin is moisturized, that you're also fully hydrated. Also, make sure that you pay attention to your nails. One thing about nails, make sure that your nails are trimmed neatly. Ladies, if you have on old polish that is chipped, get rid of it, honey. Get rid of the chip polish. Either go ahead and remove it or repolish your nails. One thing that's very embarrassing is to be speaking with someone and then the hiring manager looks down at your nails and you have little bits and pieces chipped off. Or if you have different color nails. One thing I want to say, do not distract the hiring manager with your grooming. So make sure that if you wear fingernail polish, ladies, that it's a solid color, nothing distracting. Also for men, keep your nails the same, fresh and clean, trimmed as well. You wouldn't believe some of the stories that we've heard in regards to poor hygiene. So make sure that you also keep peppermints. One thing that I remember, and maybe you might share the same memory, back when you were a little kid and maybe you went to church or you went to a function, your mom kept peppermints or candies that would help freshen your breath. So I always recommend take a breath mint of some kind with you, so that way you are professionally dressed along with good hygiene. Okay, guys? So remember that. Also, another thing in regards to colognes and perfumes, make sure that you do not wear overbearing scents. Make sure that they are fresh, clean, light scents, okay? 1 to 2 sprays. We want the hiring manager to remember us by our expertise, our achievements that we discussed during the interview. We don't want the hiring manager to remember us by a smell. Even if it's a pleasant, that's fine. But we want them to focus on more of what we can bring to the table. So make sure that you have great hygiene. Okay, so now we're on to reason 2 of why a hiring manager would not select you for the position. Well, that reason is unprofessional attire. It is imperative to understand the importance of dressing professionally. Now, dressing professionally not only speaks volumes on your character, but it also shows hiring managers on how you're going to represent their company. You wouldn't believe how many hiring managers have turned down qualified applicants due to unprofessional attire because they cannot take the risk and having you negatively impact their business by not having professional attire or great hygiene. So let's go over some of the recommendations that I have. And remember, if you ever need more in-depth information, please just give us a call, Hire JIS, and we'll be here to help you. Now, I recommend for my men to wear a professional suit, for my ladies to wear a professional pantsuit. Now, if you're not comfortable wearing pants, ladies, I say wear a skirt. Make sure that the skirt goes below the knee. Also, that you accompany it with stockings or tights. Okay, we always want to make sure that we wear darker shades of color such as black and navy, solid color, no designs. We want it free of designs, so no embroidery, symbols, no lines or anything, swirly loops on your shirts or tops. We want to make sure that we wear solid colors, okay? It's very important. We always know that if you're going to wear a darker outer layer than the bottom layer, which will be your blouse for women, men, your shirt underneath, make sure that that's a solid light color, such as white. White will go along well with navy or a light tan underneath. But we just want to make sure that we're not distracting the hiring manager with designs on our clothing. Another thing is that we want to make sure that our clothing is neatly ironed and that there are no signs of rips or tears on your clothing. That's very important. Now, also make sure that your shoes are clean and that there's no obvious signs of wear and tear. I know sometimes on our shoes, sometimes the color may rub off, but what I recommend, you wear dark colored shoes, black, dark brown, depending on the color suit that is worn, or dark color shoes. So say for instance, if you have a shoe and a bit of the coloring is coming off, well, sometimes you can find a permanent marker. Say for instance, if it's a black shoe, you can take a black permanent marker and fill in the discoloration, and you will not even be able to tell with the naked eye that it was filled in with the permanent marker. Now, that's a life hack that works. I don't want you trying all these life hacks and you come out looking crazy. Now, that's just one of the life hacks that I know that in the past, if I was not able to go and get another pair of shoes, what I would do is just take a black marker, mark it in, and you couldn't even tell that I had scrapes on the back of them heels, honey. I was on point. So you always want to make sure that you are dressed professionally, okay? Because I don't want you to get passed up by small things that hiring managers are going to notice, okay? They are trained to notice these things, all right? So we've already discussed about wearing shoes. In addition, ladies, if you decide to wear heels, now I am not a person that wears heels, but if you do decide, I always say not to wear a very high heeled. I say save that for once you have your position, and then you can start wearing different style shoes. But I always recommend plain shoe, free of any design. We don't want to distract the hiring manager. Remember that, guys. No distracting the hiring manager with our grooming or our hygiene. We want them to be fully focused on our expertise, our knowledge, the information that we're giving during the interview. Reason 3 of why a hiring manager would not select you for the position. That is not providing the answer the hiring manager asks during the interview. Now, you must use your active listening skills during the interview, and we'll discuss why it's very important. Hiring managers will ask you different type of questions so that way they can understand your background and knowledge. Now, the most type of questions that you will be asked during the interview are behavioral questions. Behavioral questions provide insight on your past behavior, which is going to predict your future behavior with the company that you are interviewing with. So hiring managers love to ask these questions so that way they can gain insight on if you're the best candidate for the position. Now, not providing the answer to this question will negatively impact your chances of being hired. Some hiring managers understand that candidates get a little bit of anxiety and worry. So what they'll do is, if you do not answer the question that they ask, once you finish, what they'll do is re-ask that part of the question that was not answered. So you want to make sure that when you're listening to the questions, that you're not forming questions in your mind based off of what is coming out of the hiring manager's mouth. Sometimes what we do is, when we hear key terms or we think that we hear common terminology, that we can go ahead and guess the question that the hiring manager is going to ask. And that affects us, because at that point we're distracted and we're not able to fully listen to what was asked of us. So make sure that your mind is free, clear. Make sure that you receive all of the information that the hiring manager is asking, and that you provide a thorough, strong, brief answer, okay? And you should be, and we are thankful for those hiring managers that will go back and re-ask the question. And in some cases, we have hiring managers that will not, and they will look at that as a red flag, being that you're not able to actively listen and prepare and give your answer. So make sure you're practicing. I always recommend to my clients, you should be able to look back over your work career, your work history, and be able to think of certain situations and the type of questions that are going to be asked by hiring managers. And you should always be able to have a situation or scenario that you can explain, where you can provide insight on if you're going to be the best fit for the job. So make sure you answer those questions, guys. Okay, guys, so we are moving along. We are now on reason 4 of why a hiring manager would not select you for the position. And that is not answering your interview questions correctly. Now, don't get it mixed up with the last one we just did. The last one is where we talked about not providing an answer to the question asked. This time, we're talking about not answering the question correctly. And this is one of the biggest pet peeves for hiring managers, is when candidates do not answer the interview question correctly. So when you do not provide the correct answer to your interview question, that means that your hiring manager did not gain any insight or understanding of your background, or once again, what you can bring to the table. Now, for example, the hiring manager will always start off the interview with this famous intro question. And this famous intro question has always been incorrectly answered by majority of candidates during an interview. I'm gonna give you a few minutes to think, okay, what could that question be? I'm gonna give you not a minute, a few seconds to think about what that question can be. Is the main intro question where majority, that's more than half of candidates, answer this question incorrectly. So drum roll, please. That main question is, tell us more about yourself or your background. And what we find is, when a hiring manager asks that question to a candidate, the candidates always provide their answers discussing their personal life, their personal goals, or personal achievements. When in actuality, the hiring manager is asking you this question because they want you to provide more information on your background. And this should be related to your career, to your work history. So this is your chance to start off the interview well by giving a thorough, brief, and strong answer to that question. Hey, such and such, tell us more about yourself, what you do, what you like to do. And this is where you can provide that information. You can talk about how long you've been within your field. You can also talk about achievements. That is something that is really great. You are selling yourself here. So you have to make sure you engage that hiring manager or hiring panel. Now, make sure, once again, when you're asked that question, tell us more about yourself, you focus more on your career and provide that information versus on your personal life. They're not trying to hear about that you have a dog, although that is great information, and that you like to go in the gym on Mondays, and once you get off of work, you'll more than likely be playing b-ball with someone. They're not asking for that information. They're asking for you to tell them your background, your expertise. What can you bring to the table? Okay, guys? So make sure you remember that. Number 4, the reason was not answering interview questions correctly. So So make sure that you're always answering your questions correctly. And if you ever need clarity, one thing I always say, a dumb answer or the dumb question is the question never asked. So if you need clarity, you can always ask them to further explain it if you don't, okay? Okay, guys, so now we are on reason 5 of why a hiring manager would not select you for the job. Now, reason 5 is lying on your resume. This is a big no-no. We've always heard that you can fake it till you make it, but you can't fake it here, okay? You have to be very honest. I always say honesty is critical to your success, as well as looking for a new career, on your career search and reaching your career goals. You have to be honest and hold yourself accountable. You can fake some things, but lying on a resume will only cause you trouble, okay? Now, hiring managers can always tell when you are lying about your skills, and that's whether from the interview, asking certain questions, using common terminology, or even completing a required assessment for an employer. All of this will show them that you may not have the level of expertise that you claimed on your resume. So this is why we have the interview process, okay, guys? So that way they will be able to see if the candidates do have this expertise that they have on paper, because this is why they selected you. They selected you from your ad, which is I call AKA your resume. So you have to make sure that you are being honest, because they have selected you from thousands of other applicants, okay? So you want to make sure that you are telling the truth, okay? Now, keep in mind, lying on a resume, hiring managers feel like they have wasted their time, which they have, because there's someone else that they could have selected that is being honest, that has the skill set that they need. So you want to make sure that you're always telling the truth. If it's required for you to have 5 years worth of experience, please don't put down that you have 10 years when you only have 2 years worth of experience. And trust me, it will show. Individuals typically that are doing the hiring, conducting the interviewing session, are individuals that have been working with the company for quite some time. They understand their culture, they understand the environment. So this is why this person is conducting the interview. And people can always tell, such as our hiring managers can tell by the answers you provide, if you really have the expertise. Now, some people say, well, I've known people that have faked it all the way, even through the interview, and they're hired. Well, I understand that occurs, but when they're hired, keep in mind, most hiring managers, when they start out with their new employees, excuse me, when they start with their new employees, typically you'll have some type of training, because you have to understand how they process and how they do things within the company. But it's going to be visible when they put you out on the floor to work on your own independently, because you said that you had this skill set that they were seeking. Then you're going to find yourself not being able to do the job. You're going to be asking questions that you should already know, because A, you told them in the interview that you had all of this skill set. And trust me, for an individual that's already at a company that has agreed to overshadow you, meaning train you, they are going to make sure as well, because 9 times out of 10, they are the right contact to the hiring manager that'll let them know, or the manager for your department, to let them know how you're doing and how do they think if you're going to be a great fit. So if you're asking questions of something that you should already know, that's going to show them, well, hey, this person was clearly lying on their resume just to get into the door. So I always recommend to be honest. Honesty is critical to your success, your career success, critical to anything you do in life, is to be very honest. Keep in mind, there's somebody who wants to work just like you, but they're telling the truth with their skill set, doing it the right way. And believe me, if it is for you, you will receive the job. Okay, guys? Now remember, lying will never help. It's best to be honest once again, because once it's time to perform the work, it will show, even if you get through the door, okay? Most of the time, though, hiring managers are trained very well to notice those red flags and can tell when individuals are not telling the truth about their expertise and their knowledge. Companies spend large amounts of money just to start and do the onboarding process for the candidates that they hire. And it would be a shame for someone to spend so much money company and then have to fire you and then have to restart the process all over again. So make sure that you're always being honest, guys. It is critical to your success. All right, guys, so we have covered the part 1 of how to win over the hiring manager. Okay, we discussed the things that hiring managers advise us that keeps them from hiring a candidate. So I hope you enjoyed part 1 of the video. I've already advised that on September 13th is when we're going to post part 2 of the video. Okay, because we want to make sure you guys have this information that is critical, valuable to your career search. It's going to help you during your interview, pre and post. We also, remember, have our career blogs that we post on our official website. That's www.g.page. Please go and view our lovely website. We have a lot of information on the services that we offer. We have testimonials as well as the packages to view for pricing. And then we also have our contact information along with our career blogs. So make sure that you read that information, get some coffee, some juice, some water, whatever it is to keep you hydrated. Make sure you tune into our career blogs. They're posted weekly. And as I stated, our second part for this video will be posted on the 13th of September. So we're just gonna go back over those reasons one more time. For part 1, first reason was hygiene. Number 2 was unprofessional attire. Number 3 is not providing the answer asked by the hiring manager. Reason 4 is not providing the correct answer that's asked by your hiring manager. And then number 5, lying on your resume. So when we come back for part 2, we're gonna go from 6 to 10 on those reasons why hiring managers will not select you. Also, if you enjoyed this content and you support JIS, please smash the like and the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the bell so that way you'll never miss out and receive notifications of when we post our content. You will get it firsthand. And I think this is amazing. We're going to stay connected with you, providing you this free information. It's going to be general, but if you ever need more in depth, or if you feel that you need a resume design, cover letter, reach out to us. We do mock interview sessions where we pretty much go over pre and post. So we get you ready for the interview as well as after, what to do. We also, with our resume design, we also teach you tricks, give you recommendations on how to keep your resume up to date. And then also we offer always one free revision with all of our resume designs. Who does that? We do at JIS. So make sure that you definitely show your support. Visit our websites. We're on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram. You can find us on each of our social platforms. There's always a link to take you to the next social platform. So guys, I am really and truly excited that I was able to provide this content for you. Also too, when you select JIS to assist with your career needs, you have made the first step in changing your life and making a change to obtain your career goals. And that's the first step that's most important, okay? Just to do it. So give us a call. Even if you just have a quick question for me, please give us a call. Our number at JIS is 832-422-5605. We're always open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. And I am super excited. This is our second vlog, but we're gonna have more of our vlogs to come. So I really hope that you enjoy the content. Again, make sure you like, subscribe. Make sure that you share to your friends and family on your social platforms as well. Thank you so much for allowing me to bless you with this information, because someone has blessed me with this information. This is why I have this passion and dedication to help others. I have over 10 years being a resume writer, career coach, and helping others obtain their career goal. So I look really forward to more of these videos. I hope you enjoyed.